Angel, do you know why I gathered you here today?
I do not.
My friend.
You pulled a sick man in here.
I
What you
did.
want?
I did. You still feeling pretty bad?
Nah.
I know Thursday you were sniffling a little bit. Friday you were like, "Oh, I'm dead tomorrow." Was yesterday like the worst day?
It's like Friday was the worst day.
Oh, Friday was the worst day. Ah, okay, then you're good. Was that Wally playing War Thunder?
What?
Wally's on that War Thunder.
Why?
Indeed, why? Well, let's go ahead and get this over with so I can make dinner. You can join the War Thunder. Angel, out of the four of us, you know what the two of us have in common that Kate and Tanner do not?
Ugh. We're Mexicans.
Well, yes, there is that. There's something anime related. I'd even go so far as to say it's podcast related.
Ah. See, I know the answer, but I don't want to say it.
You don't want to say it. You saying you don't want to say it makes me think you don't know the answer. It's not that bad.
Fine. I was trying to think of something else, but nah, it's so no Frieren, you said, right?
Correct.
Yes.
We are the only two to have completed So no Frieren. Also known as Frieren Beyond Journey's End.
Bro, I've read it. I'm caught up.
And so I don't want to do like a whole synopsis or recap or anything like that. Because, it's been over for a minute now. I think the time has passed. Instead, what I want to do is I want to have a conversation with you. Because the two of us have also watched another anime called Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
All right. Hold on. I watched that a while ago. All right.
I know. Listen. Again, we're not going into any sort of specific details or anything. But
Okay. As long as we're talking either about Chad Bradley or no Frieren, I'm good.
dude, I watched it like within the year, and I couldn't tell you. I remember most of the characters. I'd have to actually look at the characters list. But anyways, so interestingly, Angel, Full Metal Alchemist's claim to fame, online at least, is that it was the number one anime for basically the entirety of my memory.
Oh no! I mean, it
On
got dethroned like every once in a while, and then it
every once in a
immediately get
while.
well. Yeah.
Oshinoko would take it sometimes. Attack on Titan took it for a little bit.
That's all I can recall.
And I'm sure Steins Gate probably took it over for a bit.
I wasn't on Mal back then, but
I wasn't either, so I couldn't say for sure. But needless to say, Full Metal Alchemist was able to retain its number one show status for a very long time. Recently, it got dethroned by Frieren, and
I'll be thrown by a bit.
it's got quite a bit of a leap on it. So first things first, I thought Full Metal Alchemist's score was higher than a 9.09. And Frieren's right now is sitting at a 9.36.
If I recall, I think Full Metal Alchemist, at least like, I would say the average was like 9.12 or something. So not much higher than it is right now.
Much higher, but I don't know. I feel like I remember it being in the 9.2s. So I thought it'd be interesting if we had a discussion as to A, do you believe, Angel, that Frieren deserves to be over Brotherhood as a whole, right? And B, what does it really mean to be the #1 anime on Mal? Because for a while it used to be just if it's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, or sorry, if it's not Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, it's not #1 on Mal. Like it's like death and taxes, only two things that are guaranteed. Well, there were three things Full Metal Alchemist will be #1 on Mal. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. Angel, do you believe that season 1 of Frieren, 28 episodes, is rated higher than Brotherhood, which had 64 episodes? I think
I would
episode
rate
count's
it
a little.
higher in my
Okay,
own list. Yes.
okay. Why do you think Frieren deserves to be a little higher than Brotherhood?
It would have to be. This is unfair to Full Metal,
Mm.
but not really. I like the animation of Sosono Frieren. Well, I guess its biggest thing for me is its storytelling. The way the author tells the story and what the story is trying to convey.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now this is only based off season 1. If one Soso no Frieren ends, which could be very well like 64 episodes or something as well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it'd be a more fair comparison.
Oh,
But
for
with
sure.
just season 1, with the quality, production of quality and all that, I think for me it's just better.
It's hard to say because it's like, because obviously these anime come from different time periods. So once Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood came out in 2009, and Frieren just came out late last year, right?
What is that,
So
15 years difference almost?
yeah, quite a bit of a difference. Like the animation quality across the industry is probably higher than it was in 2009, right? The technology has improved, the talent has improved as the industry has gotten bigger. Um, how much do you think Freyren's popularity as an anime specifically is due to it being newer, if that makes sense? Like a little bit of a recency bias.
Um, I wouldn't necessarily say that. But what I would say helps Frieren compared to Full Metal Brotherhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that I would say there's a bigger audience for anime now compared to maybe like 10 years ago.
Mm. Mm-hmm. That's definitely a good point. I think, oh, man,
Well, what are you thinking?
I think it's so hard. So here's the thing. I was, even after watching Full Metal Alchemist recently, I struggled to really understand why it stayed at #1 for so long. Because I think it's great. I think it is great. But I don't think the ending was very good. I think like the last 20-ish episodes kind of were like not the most satisfying to me. And the plot was like kind of basic slash predictable a little bit. Now that might just be
Yeah.
because I watched so much anime, and a lot of anime took inspiration from how FMAB did it, right?
Okay. Proceed.
But
Take that
you
but back.
know, I don't want to like completely ignore that feeling though. You know what I mean? Like I don't think every anime has been influenced by Full Metal to that degree. And I think to say that Full Metal is like the first true great shonen is also like a a a misplaced sentiment. I think there are shonen that came out before it are also very very good. I'll you know,
What would
I
you
mean I
drop?
haven't seen it,
Name
but
drop.
I would say like just on legacy alone, like Lelouch is held up pretty high.
Wait, who?
The fuck what
Code
uh,
Geass?
Code Geass, yeah, Code Geass. Um, or other like highly classic anime that are shonen. Yu Yu Hakusho, I think a lot of people will put up there. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say because I haven't seen those anime, but I know that they're popular shows. And so I don't know. It's hard for me to be like. It's hard for me to say in one side of my mouth, Full Metal Alchemist is a little basic, and also like it's basic because of how much influence it had. I don't know. I just don't see there being that much of a problem with me saying like I think the plot a little standard. Personally, is that a harsh thing to say?
Nah.
I mean, yeah, yeah. I think Frieren for me, why I hold it so high in such high regard, is it kind of breaks the mold a little bit. It's an adventure. It's about an adventure after an adventure. You know, like
Beyond Journey's End.
exactly. Well, yeah, it's in the title, and there's just a sort of like, oh, we don't get this part of the story very often. The reflection of the aftermath of the defeating the demon lord and how the world changes.
I feel
You
like
know,
we rarely get to see the end. You know?
right. So at most you would get like an episode or two epilogue, maybe an OVA. But this is like an entire series about. So that's one of the main reasons why I hold Frier in high regard. And so when I look at the rankings, and it might be recency bias, but I really do say Frieren kind of deserves to be at the number one spot right now. But that being said, Frieren's not my favorite anime of all time. You know? So
Well,
that kind of brings us to the next question. What does it mean to be the number one anime on Mal?
I think to
Is
be the number one anime on now is to be a show you can recommend to anybody, basically.
There's a lot of Gintama in this top 10 though.
Yeah, I saw Steins Gate at 3, and I'm like, I wouldn't recommend that to everybody, but
So I think there's a sort of I think there's a sort of like Frieren came out at the right time kind of feeling for me. Where maybe we needed this breath of fresh air because I mean even looking at like the top shonen anime of the last so and so years. My Hero, Demon Slayer, Jujutsu. I'll even throw like because it finished recently, like Naruto, One Piece is ongoing. They're all kind
I
of
haven't just said
starting
Boruto
to.
yet, huh?
Well, that belongs in the Naruto family. Um, I think that shonen as a whole were starting to kind of, they're in like this melting pot, you know what I mean? To the point where you could say Jujutsu is just a darker Naruto, you know, like you could say My Hero is like a more kid-friendly One Punch or something. Like it all really started, for me at least, started to kind of blend. And I was still enjoying it greatly, because I think a part of my enjoyment beyond plot, and I think I've said this on the podcast before, I'm not like plot is everything kind of guy. I think number one for me is animation. Because at the end of the day, like, that is that is what your eyeballs are taking in, you
You
know what I
want some
mean?
sauce for the eyes.
I need sauce for the eyes, exactly.
Some of that sakura, you know.
So for me personally, I can't complain because I'm having the time of my life. The animation's only getting better every fucking time, right? But in terms of people who are plot people, I can totally see there being a little bit of like a stagnation of sorts, right? In terms of their enjoyment for anime, shonen anime specifically, because shonen takes the most of the top anime, right? So I guess what I'm getting at is I think Frieren came at the right time, and I think Full Metal Alchemist also came out the right time. The top 10 is, or not even the top 10, the top anime in general are mostly dominated by shonen. Right? If you go down this list, down 50, I think maybe a dozen are other categories, right? So I think Frieren came out at the exact right time that we needed it to, because of how much of a breath of fresh air it was compared to other shonen anime. And I think Full Metal Alchemist experienced something very, very similar when it came out in 2009. Because even when I was giving examples of other shonen anime that were great before it, I did kind of struggle a little bit to be like, oh wait, what else was like really up at the pinnacle? Now granted, it's not my time. I'm sure someone more seasoned than me could name a few bangers from the 2000s and the late 90s, but yeah, I really think to be the number one anime, you have to be the biggest breath of fresh air at the exact right time. I think is the conclusion that I've reached.
So you're telling me that in your eyes, it matters when the story is adapted.
Yeah, I think it does. I think it does. Because I don't know. Once more anime kind of saw the success of FMAB, and they start taking elements from it and getting inspired by it, and
Yeah, it starts getting watered down a little bit.
It starts getting watered down a little bit, and therefore, us, you and me, when we're looking at it retrospectively, we see it through the lens of, we see what has been influenced directly and indirectly, and it becomes a little bit, old news, old hat, right? Eventually, I mean, who knows how long Frieren's gonna have the top spot? I've never seen a mouse score this high for this long. So
yeah, I didn't expect it to stay up here. I thought I was going to get demoted to number 2 by the Brotherhood stands.
By the Brotherhood stands, yeah. Because they're very famous for bringing shows down, and I've always hated the idea of like people review bombing and taking things down a peg. Like when Oshinoko was getting like review bombed during, it's like it's not even done yet. Can we at least wait for it to be finished before we say like, okay, it got reviewed too high. Like let's bring it down a little bit. I personally think, Mal, if you're listening, I personally think reviews should not count until after the season ends. And like the reviews that happen ongoing, like that should be in its own little tab. Because it doesn't make, because it's a rubber band in both directions where people love the show so much and it's ongoing and it's great and you're in the moment and you're like, man, this is fucking awesome. And then the rubber band the other direction, people being like, oh, it's rated too high right now because of how much hype there is, so we're gonna review bomb it.
I think it's almost fine the way it is.
Nah.
In the sense that you can change your score whenever you want.
True.
You can when you like put in your score and stuff, you can put the status of the show like completed, watching, on hold, stuff like that. So if you would be able to sort based off like status and stuff, I think that'd be nice. But aside from that, I think the way they have it is okay.
Let me ask you this, Angel. Let me ask you this. You go to a restaurant and you see it has 5 stars on Yelp. But all the reviews are about the appetizers. None of the reviews are about the entrees.
Then you sort the
And then
reviews
wait.
about the entrees.
No, it's not a thing. I mean, it is kind of a thing, but or even better. Like restaurants stay open, and they'll usually have like a soft launch, right? And they have a more limited menu because they're still trying to figure out like how everything's gonna work, and what to keep on the menu and stuff like that. So usually when a restaurant soft launches, they're trying to make a good impression. They're maybe acting a little nicer, maybe a little happier, a little excited. They haven't been worn down by the drag. Ingredients might be a little fresher because they're using, whatever suppliers that they have. My point is, when a restaurant soft launches, it's a much different experience than when the restaurant fully launches and the menu gets expanded. And the kitchen has more things to worry about. The restaurant has to worry about like the overhead, so they cut down on the quality of the ingredients. The workers there have been there for longer, so the customer service might go down a peg. Like it is a different experience, I think, having a completed restaurant as opposed to a soft launch restaurant. I think anime is very similar. When you're in the moment, I think your opinions might be, for example, Angel. For example, I think I got you. Tacto P Destiny. When we watched those first 3 episodes,
we were like, "Oh, shows the season right here."
We probably would have given it, if we were forced to review it out of 10, we probably would have given it at least a 9. That review's not valid anymore because we watched the whole thing.
So we changed our score from a 9 to 6.
You are correct, Angel. But what percentage of people do you think are going to go back and change their scores after they give their review, right?
I feel like if you have an account,
I would imagine it's less than half.
To score, you might have a higher chance.
Well,
if you wanted a percentage, I would say maybe like 15%.
15% of people would go back to change their scores. It's just not high. It's just not high enough for me. I think even 50% would be too low. I don't know. I'm just saying. It's a little. I think it gets a little weird in this area where you can review a show 2 or 3 episodes in, and you don't have to come back to it. And I would guess that most people who do put in reviews that early do not come back to it. You know, I don't know. I just think personally, that's how I would fix it. Shoot, I lost myself after the restaurant rant.
Last thing we discussed was the Mao rating system.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. Yeah. Basically, conclusion. I think ongoing reviews should be their own category and should not account for the final score of the show. That's how I would do it. So what would be the final send off to say here? Angel, do you have an anime in mind that you would put at 1? Is it Frieren for you right now, or
Like, as my personal number one,
as your
or
personal number 1? Yeah,
I don't know what I
it's
would
hard to
put at
say,
one
right?
right now.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't argue against Frieren, if I'm honest.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what my top 5 looks like at the moment because I didn't really put much thought into it before coming in here. So,
I know for sure.
but you said you had your own number one.
See, I'm in this weird place where I don't think right now, if I had to say number 1 show, that's a rough one. That is a rough. I would probably say right now it'd be Oshinoko.
That's your
I think,
number one?
I think that would be my number 1 right now.
No shot.
I enjoyed it that much.
You didn't even give it a 10 when we scored it.
I think I've come back around on it. Look, I might not have given it a 10, but I definitely wasn't lower than a 9.
I think you're arguing for it to barely be like A or S tier or whatever.
No.
Yeah.
Fake news. Fake news, my friend. I've always been an Oshinoko supporter. And matter of fact, I don't think we had an episode about it, but I think we talked about Oshinoko. We basically had this discussion, but with Oshinoko for like, a solid 10 minutes, like fucking 20 episodes ago.
Yeah, when it was like, I think it was when we did the like first episode view on it, right?
Maybe. It's like, does this deserve to be over Brotherhood right now?
Yeah, I remember that.
But, I don't know. I have been hit with the wanting to go back to watch it again.
Well, you're in luck because season 2 drops soon.
True. That's true. And same with Tower of God.
Oh, that's pretty good too.
Dude, Tower of God. Tower of God's up there too. It's definitely in the top 5 for me. I like its unique animation style.
Which is gone next season.
Say what?
You heard me.
Don't. Say it ain't so.
No cap.
Why would they do this to me?
I believe I'm correct, by the way. I will not confirm.
Are they telling me that they made my boy Bam a basic boy? Just cause you said that. I have to watch the teaser trailer, which I've been avoiding, by the way. Oh, this is just a live action. Oh no, there it is. Angel.
Teaser I'm watching is literally just season 1. It's yeah.
Oh, these are season 2. This is a season 2 trailer.
Oh.
And yes, this does look a little less like Tower of God season 1. I don't know how I feel about that. Interesting indeed. Here, I'll put it in the thing for you.
Oh, I found it.
Oh, you did? Okay. Any final words you want to say for this mini podcast episode, Angel?
I don't have too much to say other than let's see.
So I
Did you
got
see
something for you to
the
say.
oh well
I got something for you to say.
no, I had something. I had
Ah,
something.
damn it. Damn it. All right,
So that
fine. Go
means you
ahead.
get to say. Uh
It's something only you can say, though.
nah. I forgot the name of the show. Shadow of Eminence.
Eminence and Shadow?
Eminence and Shadow, yeah.
Did they drop a season or a movie trailer?
Yes. Oh, so you already saw.
No. I'm just guessing here.
Yeah. They announced the movie for the next arc.
I mean, we basically knew it was coming, right?
Yeah. We pretty much knew about it. Confirmed. 2 months from now.
Originally announced in December. Blah blah blah. Wait, was there a release date?
I don't know. I just
Nah, I
made
don't
that
think
up.
so. Oh, I was gonna say, I do not see it anywhere, so I don't think so. I think it's just a trailer, and that it's being made. What I was gonna ask, Angel, what can, as a manga reader that you are, can fans be hyped for Frieren season 2?
Oh yes, absolutely. The next arc slaps.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I'm
I,
talking about.
I think that's all I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't say any more than that. You know how squeamish I am about spoilers.
Don't worry, I'm not Cade.
uh, yeah. You know what I just finished recently?
What'd you finish?
Apothecary Diaries.
Ooh, how'd you like it?
Oh, that's a fantastic show. Oh my god, that is a.
Did you like how
It's
they tied up the all her little things into one event?
oh yeah. I thought it was super satisfying. It's like the culmination of not just her personal journey, but a lot of the circumstances that have been happening since season 1 have all kind of like met, at this point. It's super satisfying. I cannot speak highly enough. Season 2, the very last image of season 1 is season 2 in production, so I'm very much looking forward to that. It's beautiful, it's great. uh that's
How more
probably
best
an
girl?
anime that's probably an anime that I would have to, after sitting down and looking at all the anime, I think I'd have to consider it in my top 10.
It is in my top 10 for sure.
uh it's just it's unique, it's enjoyable, it's got all the fixins, if you will. I think of the shows that we've reviewed, how about that? I think it's probably number 2. I would put no, it's probably number 3.
Well, what's
Oshinoko, Frieren,
okay.
Oshinoko, Frieren, Apothecary. I'll probably put Undead Murder Farce. I know that's probably really, really high for a lot of people. This is of shows that we've reviewed, though, so don't have that good of a selection.
You've watched the top ones every season.
I'm telling you, we haven't had that good of a selection. um, I mean, I liked Sign of Affection. It probably barely makes my top 5 of shows we reviewed.
I liked it a lot. I'm not sure if it would be in my top 5 or anything. Maybe even my top 10. I'm not sure.
I mean, I did like it a lot,
I did too.
you know. But I think Frieren and Oshinoko and Apothecary are the only ones that we reviewed that have cracked my top 10.
I can't think of anything else.
Danger's in My Heart. Fuck, I forgot about
Oh, I
Danger's in
didn't,
My
I
Heart
didn't watch
again.
that
Oh,
yet.
that's up
So
there. That's for sure up there.
it's on my watch list.
Oh, you're missing out. You're missing out. Well, Angel, thank you for joining me in this mini episode. It was fun. It's always fun having a discussion with someone who actually watches anime. You can't. I can't do this podcast with Tanner and Kate. So it really is an honor to do it with you. By the way, I don't know if you follow Trash Taste, but they did this topic very recently. I mentioned before.
Wait, which topic?
The does Frieren deserve to be number one?
Oh,
I didn't listen to it because I've been marinating on this topic for a while, and I did not want to be influenced by it. But when that episode came out, I was like, God fucking damn it, we were so close to beating Trash Taste.
a little convenient on the story now, huh?
Hey man, hey. I came up with this topic back when we were doing the 10 questions, because we were looking at the Mal list for, is the show in the top 50 and blah blah blah. And that's when I noticed. That's when I was like, oh shit, Frieren's at number one. That's wild. And that's when I was like, this would be a great podcast topic. And then their episode came out maybe 2 weeks after. I was like, God fuck damn it. So close to greatness. That's what happens when you sit on things. I might be more willing to do mini episodes more often when they're convenient, but that's an idea for another time.
Ideas everywhere.
I don't think mini episodes deserve their own howl, so I guess
combine mini episodes.
Combine mini episodes? Oh, that's not a bad idea. It's actually, hey, that's not a bad idea. Anyways, thank you for listening to Any Anime Podcast. If you have any questions, comments, ideas, if you have ideas, we're more than willing to listen. Send them at anyanimepodcast@gmail.com. I'll say it slowly. anyanimepodcast@gmail.com. Or follow us on the now official x.com @anyanimepod. That's anyanimepod on x.com.
Tanner just turned into sleep.
Yeah, he really did. He's like, Elon, why? Someone's talking about Elon. Yeah. Anyways, have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. Stay safe. Kendrick won.